What's up guys, I'm Jared Axel, and today I'm going to be talking about the LSD experience. Now before I get into it, I gotta tell you that I'm not here to promote the use of any drug whatsoever. I'm just here to talk about what's inside my head, hence that being part of the title. So, the LSD experience, what is it like? How do you feel while you're on it? What does it do to you afterwards? Well, I'm going to talk about all that, but first I'm going to say it's not good for everybody. Not everybody's going to have the same experiences that I've had. If you are someone who has schizophrenia or anything like that, you shouldn't do LSD. Also, it's kind of one of those things where you got to know yourself well enough to know if you can handle something like that. It can be very therapeutic for many. For others, it can be the complete opposite. Some people just shouldn't do it, you know? But, I'm going to talk about my experiences with it. Personally, I've had some pretty positive experiences, except for this one time. I went to a party, I took a tab with one of my friends, shit got out of control, I had to run through a swamp, and like at first it wasn't that bad because I was with a cool group of people, but then I left the swamp, and then the cops came back, so I had to go back into the swamp, and I was with a group of assholes, and they were straight up treating me like shit, so like, that kind of fucked up my night. But like since then I've had some really positive experiences with it. There was this one time a year ago, actually the only time I've ever taken a tab like this, it was a pure gel tab. And I had the most intense trip of my life. It kicked in within like 15 minutes, which doesn't happen with paper tabs. When you take a paper tab, it takes around an hour to kick in. It kicked in within 15 minutes. Me and my friend were looking at each other, and it's like we could see each other's auras and shit. So that was pretty cool. Also, the body feeling you get from LSD was like very, very, very strong. I can't really describe the body feeling you get when you take LSD. It's like, I don't know, I literally can't describe it. It's almost like you feel like a cup of fine scotch, if that makes sense. But that's not the only body feeling you get, though. You get, like, vibration feelings. You get all sorts of different feelings throughout your body. That's just one that I've felt pretty much every time I've done LSD. You also feel like a bag of air sometimes. That's a nice body feeling you get. You also, get a really insightful feeling every time you do LSD. Whether or not you're having some crazy epiphany or not, you always feel insightful. You always feel like really positive, really great. I mean, not always, obviously. There are such things as bad trips, but when you're having a good trip, the whole time you just feel really great. You feel like everything is beautiful. I mean, everything is beautiful, but, I mean, not everything. There is ugliness in the world, but, like, still, you get my point. But yeah, like, it's great. It's unreal. Like, it's almost like you see things, you see the beauty in things that the naked eye can't really decipher. But, anyway, I'm going to talk about this one trip I had on that pure gel tab for a minute. Things got really intense. Like, I looked up at the sky and saw the sky turning into puzzle pieces. I experienced ego death for the first time. I saw the doors to heaven and hell opening up. It was intense. It's been almost a year since then, though. I think I did say that was a year ago, didn't I? Earlier in the video. But, I didn't really trip for a really long time since then. Until this last month. I've tripped 4 times in this last month, all on LSD. The first time I tripped within this last month, I had a really crazy epiphany. I realized that I needed to stop eating meat. So I've been working towards being full out vegan. Right now I'm just vegetarian, but I mean, at least I stopped eating meat. Now, I just want to say I'm not going to pressure anybody who eats meat to stop eating meat. I'm not the kind of person who says, you're an evil person if you eat meat. Because, I mean, it's something humans have been doing since the beginning of time. But, like, really the point of being vegetarian and vegan is to, like, make it to where less animals have to suffer. Because, like, you know, they're being killed on such a large scale nowadays, and the things that people do when they're, you know, like, gathering up all the animals that they kill for our food are really fucked up. But I can talk about that in another video. Right now I'm trying to talk about LSD. I'm kind of getting off track. But, anyway, I had that epiphany, and all sorts of other epiphanies. Really smaller ones, though. Like, they were just kind of sudden, like, realizations of, oh, this is something that I could do differently. But, since then I've had other epiphanies on other trips. I've kind of realized how negatively some of the negative influences in my life affect me, and how they've kind of made me a negative person at times. I've always been someone, well, not always, but since I've been striving to become my own person, I've been someone who's always tried to be positive, but, like, I've really realized how some people have made me more negative at times. So I've been distancing myself from those people, trying to surround myself with people who are positive, so I can become more like the person that I want to be. But, yeah, I've had a lot of therapeutic experiences within the last month, though, just doing LSD and walking around and enjoying life. When you do a paper tab, that's what I've done last month, is just paper tabs. It's a lot different from doing a pure gel tab. You don't really look up in the sky and see puzzle pieces unless you do a few of them. It's more like you look up in the sky and the clouds have swirls going through them and shit like that, and colors are more pretty, stuff like that. But the insightful feeling is always there regardless. Well, unless you're having a bad trip. But even then, you can take something from your bad trip. Like, one thing that I always do when I trip is I always keep an open mind to having a bad trip. I mean, I'd rather have a good trip, but I kind of think of it like this. Like, if I have a bad trip, I'm going to learn something from it anyway. I mean, it's going to suck, but I'm going to learn something from it. And with that being said, I hope you've learned something from this video, and I hope you are all having an amazing day. Peace and love, guys.